Something is about to change in your life today. You will be deciding when, where, and what tires to change. This is called freedom. I'm Tony from Rabaconda, and this is the Street Bike Tire Changer tutorial. As with many other great tools, it takes some time and practice to perfect your skills. Therefore, please follow this instruction, read the user manual, and soon you will be changing tires in just a few minutes. The Street Bike Tire Changer can be used from 12 to 21-inch rim diameters with a maximum tire width of 250 millimeters. It can be used with cast rims, spoked rims, with tubeless and inner tubes. However, it cannot be used with bead mousse, so please don't attempt that. Before you start changing a tire, there are some very important things that you need to know. We have taken the risk of damaging the rim or tire to a minimum. However, there are a few things that you need to take care of yourself each time when you change a tire. Firstly, make sure the wheel is clean. There is no dirt anywhere, which could get between the duck head and start rubbing the coating. The second thing is inspect the duck head from the inside for any sharp edges. In case you find any, remove it with a knife, and over time you might have to replace the duck head. Also, inspect the rim for any sharp edges because this could cause damage to the duck head, which will in return damage the rim again. In case you're changing a hard sidewall tire, it is always much easier to do it when the tire is warm. So find a place where you can heat it up before you change the tire. For dismounting a tire, deflate it, place it over the center spindle, use an appropriate wheel adapter. We also have for large hubs, we have a universal big hub adapter that you can use. And make sure the wheel support blocks are under the rim and tire. Then grab the bead breaker. Here you can adjust it according to the rim diameter. And here we have two positions. The outer one is for wider rims and the inner one is for narrower rims. Start pushing the bead off. Here you go. Until the first bead is completely removed. And once you have dismounted the first bead, push it off, flip the wheel around, and repeat it from the second side. You might need to adjust the bead breaker a little bit because now on the bottom side it is supported on the rim, not on the tire anymore. Once you have broken the bead on both sides, it's time to dismount the first bead. First, in case your bike has a tire pressure sensor, then position it here at 9 o'clock. I will tell you in a moment why. Then grab the bead breaker again, push the tire off from here, and take a bead grease and get some bead grease here on the bead of the tire. Bead grease is very important also when dismounting a tire, not only while mounting, because this will make it a lot more easier. Then mount the duck head, and you can always use the bead breaker to make some room for mounting the duck head. Fasten it from the side, and then position the duck head to 6 o'clock. And now the sensor will be here around 2 and 3 o'clock. So this is the sector where the bead will not damage it. Take the wheel rotation blocker and put it through the hole in the frame. Here's a little side note. In case you are changing a tire on a spoked rim, do not use the stopper pin. Instead, each set includes a strap which is used for blocking the rim rotation. Place it under the frame, and then from the lower side of the rim around the spoke, which faces downward, fasten the strap. And ideally, the strap should remain around 5 o'clock. Take the wheel rotation blocker and put it through the hole in the frame. This will stop the wheel from rotating, which is needed for the duck head operation. Take the tire iron and put it over the nose of the duck head, so it will not get in contact with the rim. And in order to make pulling the tire iron easier, use the bead breaker to push the tire down from the top side, and then pull the iron and lock it here under the hook so it stays in place nicely. Now take the operating handle and stand here next to the tire changer. This is the best place for operating the ratchet system. Bring the ratchet system in front of you and start ratcheting. Once the first bead is dismounted, it's time to dismount the second bead. Make sure the tire is loose on the rim, so on the top side the second bead is in the drop center, and hook the tire iron under the second bead, lock it to the hook, place the ratchet socket in front of you, and dismount the second bead. Here we go. Tire dismounted. Mounting a tire. The number one rule is never attempt to mount a tire without an appropriate tire mounting crease. Here we have a Rabaconda bead crease. Put the bead crease on the tire bead all the way around, and this will make mounting a tire a lot more easier. Do it also on the other side. Okay, now the tire is nicely lubed. Make sure you mount it the right way. Check the direction of the tire and put it over the duck head first. Position the duck head at 12 o'clock, and for mounting, the tire needs to be positioned over the duck head always diagonally, so that you can see the head of the duck while the tail of the duck remains under the tire. Push the bead on as much as you can with your hands. Usually the first bead goes on without the help from the duck head. You might have to use the duck head for mounting the first bead as well. For the second bead, also get the tire over the duck head the same way, diagonally, so you can see the nose of the duck while the tail of the duck stays behind the tire. And since I'm dealing with a pretty hard carcass tire here, it is needed to use the drop center tools. I will mount the first one here at around 1 o'clock. Then I will grab the operating handle and start mounting. And at the same time, make sure that the tire that you have already mounted stays in the drop center. In this case here, with Bridgestone battle axe, I will need a help from another drop center tool. This one I will mount around 9 or 10 o'clock and continue mounting with the duck head. And at the same time, pay close attention that the tire that you have already mounted, the bead, gets into the drop center of the rim. You might need to help it a little bit. And in case you feel that you are using all your force, too much force, and it's still not moving and you can hear the tire cracking, then most likely you don't have the tire in the drop center from the top here. You don't have enough bead grease, or the tire is simply too cold for mounting. And now you can see the tire has nicely slided into the drop center. The drop center tools here are helping it. And the second bead is now mounted. Remove the drop center tools. And you can use the bead breaker to help getting the duck head dismounted. Once the tire is mounted, deflate it, and before you hit the roads, make sure you also balance it. You can do it with a simple tabletop balancer. That's completely fine even for high speeds. Rabaconda Street Bike Tire Changer will change your life. Give yourself some time to fine-tune your skills. You can also watch Does It Change video episodes on Rabaconda's YouTube channel. Happy tire changes!